Hello, everyone. Hello. It is Monday, and we are going to get moving. It's Monday, motivation to move. All right. So I am getting on here to make sure that yes, I'm here live. Yay. I'm going to be sure to share this to my group. Hello, everyone. If you are joining me live, please say live. And if you catch the replay, please say replay. This was a very interesting day for us. Our third son started. I am about to make you mad. Our third son started driver's training today, and it was out in the real world. It wasn't virtual, and that took a whole different thing. We have been haven't been doing activities and things, so it was like, oh, I forgot interaction with people and driving places and all that stuff. So it was a lot of activity for us today. But today we're going to talk about something really wonderful, really good. I just got off with a client. We were talking, and I challenged her on this, and I'm excited about this challenge. Today we're going to talk about the best diet, hands down, the best diet that you can go on. And we're going to see. So before I get started, before I go any further, I want to make sure that everybody knows who I am. My name is Teresa Horn. I'm the founder of Sisterhood of Strong, personal trainer, nutrition specialist, and health and wellness coach. And today we're talking about the best diet, hands down the best diet you can go on. And if you know me, you're probably already like, diet? What is she talking about here? Usually she's saying we don't need to go on a diet. But if we talk about the definition of a diet is really what we eat. When we go on a diet, we are choosing to eat a specific way. So the best way that you can eat is to eat whole foods, to eat real foods, meaning food that has been through minimal processing. So the answer to the best diet ever, hands down, the best diet you could eat would be a whole foods diet or real foods diet. Diets that your great grandmother would recognize as food. You got to think, if we go back 4 generations, some of the things that we eat, would our grandmother even recognize some of this as food, right? Like, what would your great grandmother think of, I don't know, Oreo, right? Or a bag of cookies. Oreos are cookies, but like bagged cookies, would your great grandmother eat cookies out of a bag? Like, would that even make sense? Or potato chips? Would that make sense to them? You're eating food that came out of a bag, a cookie that came out of a bag? Probably not. Or you're going through in a car and going through a drive-through and getting things to eat. Like, would that make sense to them? Probably not. It probably wouldn't make sense. Because when you think about it that way, does it even make sense for us? Like, what kind of nutritional value can a cookie out of a bag really have? How many nutrients are in that food? Not tons. And if we think about the reason that we eat food is for the nutrients, or at least that's the reason we should be eating food, or at least a reason, are the things that we're choosing really satisfying those needs? So when we talk about I'm hungry, Well, maybe we are hungry for nutrients because the foods that we have been eating aren't really full of nutrients at all. So the very best diet that you can eat is going to be a real foods diet. So let's talk about why that is, right? So the three major categories of food, the three macronutrients are protein, fats, and carbohydrates. So the things that we eat are going to come from those three categories. Real foods diet, we want to get our foods from our real foods. We want them to be in the category of protein, fats, and carbohydrates. Everybody, maybe not everybody, but really popular right now is keto. Keto's super popular. And why is keto popular? Why do you see people becoming successful on a keto diet? And so the answer to that, drum roll please, is because it restricts your carbohydrates to carbohydrates generally that are real foods. On keto, you can have a certain amount of carbohydrates. It's going to limit your carbs. We know, well, if you don't know, listen up. Protein, fats, carbohydrates. Bread is a carbohydrate. Most of us think carbs, we think bread, we think pasta, we think chips. Definitely yes. Also, broccoli is a carbohydrate, and watermelon's a carbohydrate, and blueberries are a carbohydrate. So if I say real foods, I want you to eat protein, fats, and carbohydrates, I'm not limiting your carbohydrates at all. I'm not saying you have to have a certain number, but I am saying that we are going to eliminate bread, pasta, because those are not what we are considering real foods. We are considering vegetables and fruits. And that is where you'll get your carbohydrates on the real foods diet. I know some of y'all was like, wait a second, I was with you until you eliminated bread and pasta. Yes, we are eliminating crackers, cookies, pasta, bread, all of those things. And I know some of you are like, but I make it from scratch. I ground my own flour. Yeah, that probably would fall into that category. But my challenge to you is to eliminate that as well. Take it out. So when we take bread, pasta, when we take those things out, not only do we eliminate a source of sugar, because all of those things turn to sugar very quickly in our body because they're relatively low in fiber. We eliminate a source of sugar. We also cut down our carbohydrate load without taking away all of our carbs, and more importantly, without limiting the nutrient-dense carbohydrates, because we need carbs we need them for lots of reasons, but they help us focus. They are a great source of energy. They help us stay, they give us flavor, they give us variety. So there is definitely a place for carbohydrates in a real foods diet. And so we want them to be in our diet. We don't want to say, keep them at a certain number necessarily. We want to have them in our diet. We want to be able to use them for energy, but we do want our carbs to come from fruits and vegetables. So we want to talk about the quality of our carbohydrates, our fats, and our protein, not necessarily the quantity. Because when we have high quality, we don't need the same quantity. Maybe you have to think back, but how many times have you gone through the line at McDonald's, or I'm not going to call this, but gone through a fast food line and, ate the double meal. You had the burger and the fries and the drink, and you ate it all before you even got to your house. And then like 2 hours later, you were hungry again. When you think about that, it's like, how is that possible? I see it with my kids all the time. Like they'll eat fast food like that, and then they'll be hungry like 2 hours later. If you think about what hunger is, if hunger is the need for energy, the need for nutrients, how many nutrients are in that food? What are the major nutrients? There are protein, carbs, and fats. The majority of what you ate, if you ate at a fast food restaurant, is probably fats and carbs. There's protein in the meat, but what is the quality? Ooh, let's think about that. What is the quality of the protein in that meat, in that situation? You've got lots of fat, you've got lots of processed carbs, and you've also got a lot of calories. Those calories are empty calories. So you're going to eat that food, but your body isn't getting lots of nutrients from that food. So your body doesn't really care that you used all of the calories you really should have in a day. Perhaps maybe maybe it's 12,000, maybe it's 1,800. If you had a drink with calories, like you had a regular soda, you probably had in that one meal all of the calories you should have in a day in one meal, but you didn't have anywhere near the nutrients your body needs for the day. Your body doesn't say, I've had all the calories that I need for the day, so I'm no longer going to be hungry. Your body is like, I need nutrients, and in 2 hours, I'm going to want those nutrients. You have just pacified me for a little while. Your body is going to want nutrients. Therefore, your body is going to tell you you're hungry again. What are you going to do? Sorry, body. I've had my calories and I'm not going to eat again. Look, I know that most of us have gone on a diet and we told ourselves that. We're like, okay, I'm done eating because I had my calories, but your body still wants nutrients. Your body still needs nutrients. So our goal is to give our body nutrients by focusing on the quality of our food and not the quantity. The quality of our food. Because when we eat high quality foods, we are going to be less hungry because our body is going to get what it needs. Think about a cheeseburger that you get at a fast food restaurant versus a stew that you made that has, maybe it has kale and it has potatoes and it has, what else are we going to put in our stew? We're going to put, we're just going to have lots of herbs and spices because we want it to have a lot of flavor. It's going to have a vegetable stock that you made with, like throughout the week, you were putting leftover vegetables in the freezer. And so you built up a nice amount of vegetables. So you put that in there, you made a stock. And you had a chicken that you kept the carcass, and so you made some broth. So you've got like bone broth, and you put that in there, and so you made this really flavorful stew that has all these nutrients in it from the different vegetables that you put in there, and it's even got some stock in there. You didn't put meat in this one, but you got bone broth because you put the stock in there. What's going to be more sustaining? What's going to have more nutrients? Is going to be the stew. The stew is not going to have anywhere near the caloric load that cheeseburger is. But when you look at that, many of us are going to think, I'm going to be hungry. Some of us know that stew is going to be more satisfying. But some of us are still in that place where our brain is still thinking, I need a piece of meat in a bun to fill my stomach. I was talking to somebody today and I was like, that is a lie. Ooh, let that settle. It's a lie. And it's a lie that we've been fed through commercials, through the food pyramid. Ooh, I said it. Let's see. I'm not sure if that happened. It's looking like I may have lost connection. I'm going to keep going. Hopefully that's not true. But let's see. All right. Hopefully I'm good. If you guys can still see me, let me see. I don't know. Give me a thumbs up in the comments if you still can see me live. Yay. Okay, good. So, yeah. So there we go. So we want to, thank you. Those things, you don't need bread. You don't need bread. If we look at the food pyramid, and I know this is, if we look at the food pyramid, the way it's set up, and now it's my plate, there are grains on those plates, and it makes you think that it's a macronutrient. Grains are not a part of you don't have to have grains to live. You don't have to have grains to live. You don't have to have bread. You don't have to have pasta. You don't have to have wheat. You don't have to have those things. Those are carbohydrates. You do need carbohydrates to live. You do. However, you don't have to get them from bread. You can get them from vegetables and you can get them from fruit. And those things have more nutrients per pound. So you want to get your food from the most nutrient dense source. If you think about somebody who is a very good budgeter, you can get $50 and you can take that $50 and you can feed a family of 5 because you know how to work it. Think about it in that way. If you have a certain amount of calories, and how are you going to do the best nutrient wise with that certain amount of calories? How are you going to spend those calories to get you the most nutrients? Not the most quantity, the most nutrients. Because if we talk about quantity, you can take $50, you can get boxed macaroni and cheese, you can get a whole bunch of boxes and bags of food that is nutrient deficit. You want to take it and get the most nutrient dense food, the food that has the most nutrients, hands down, and spend it that way. So there's beans, right? And it's not going to be canned beans because you want to spend those calories well. So a bag of beans is going to go farther than a can of beans, right? Those are the things you want to think about. How can I get the most nutrients in this food? Now, this takes, for most of us, a lot of unpacking things that we have done for years, and it takes some planning on how we're going to eat. Generally, this takes more time. And this is why we plan. This is the reason we meal plan. Not because we love meal planning or not because we have so much time on our hands that we want to fill it with meal planning. We plan our meals because we're going to be hungry, and the things that have the most nutrients, you need to plan for them. You need to plan to have them, and you need to plan to eat them. If you think back to that stew that I talked about, that took time. It took some time to make a stew. And yes, you could put it in an Instapot, but at least you have to plan to have the vegetables available to make the stew. Right? If you want to be really smart with your stew making, I mentioned a carcass of a chicken. So, we want to make sure that we keep that carcass of the chicken so we can use it for the stock. We want to make sure that we keep our fruits and vegetables leftovers so we can keep it for the stock. So it takes a little bit more planning, but when we look at the health, our overall health of ourselves, and which this one always gets me, of our families, we can put in that time. It's not unreasonable for us to do. And it's not beyond what we're capable of. You are capable of many things. Many of us here, if you're watching me, you know that you're part of the kingdom. You're a disciple of Christ. You can become disciplined with what you are eating. You can do this. You absolutely can. So I have talked about a lot today, and I think that I hit most of the things that I wanted to talk about. I guess one of the downsides that I do want to mention that about processed carbohydrates, there are many, but they have sugars that we don't necessarily need, right? Sugar, and we all know sugar is an issue. Starch, extra starch, sugar, same kind of thing for our body. That affects our hormones. And then some of us are coming to that menopausal stuff. And the last thing we want is something else to mess with our hormones. So it can affect our hormonal swings and shifts, and also our hormonal load, right? So the more fat we have on our bodies, fat holds hormones. And so the more, when we eat too much and we don't burn all that energy, it's stored on our body, and the storage eventually will become fat, and hormones are stored in fat. So we don't want to give any more fuel to that. The other thing that I want to mention is, I just thought of, when we are losing weight, we are also dumping fat and hormones. So there's going to be a little bit of hormonal shifting when we're losing weight, and to also keep that in mind. So if you feel like I'm doing good, things are going great, and then you start to break out, your skin starts to break out, and you're like, but I know I'm drinking my water, and I know I'm using my turmeric soap, and I know I'm doing all of these things. Part of it could be the fact that your body is getting rid of toxins. And we know then when our body rids itself of toxins, they flush through. And so maybe that's kind of what you're seeing. That just came to me. That was for somebody. I don't know who that was for. And then overeating. When we have too many processed carbs, there is, again, because we're not getting the nutrients that we need from the food that we're eating, we overeat, right? Because our body's like, I need more energy. I'm still hungry. Your body's not lying. You didn't give it nutrients, right? So it wants to eat more. Your body is going to want what it needs. We need to get to the place where we can have our body in a rhythm that you can depend on and that you can trust. Because when we eat so many processed things, it's hard to understand what is really our body needing something, and then what is our palate and our kind of just our addiction wanting sugar. Sorry. That's what that is. And we have to break it. Like, a sugar addiction just has to be broken. We have to undo it. You have to take that sugar out so you can understand what real sugars taste like. An apple has real sugar in it. Can you taste it? Do you know it? Maybe you do, but maybe you don't, because you're eating so many sugars that are processed that you can't taste the sweetness of an apple. Grapes have a ton of sugar. Do you experience grapes as being sweet? Do you have so many other sugars in your diet that grapes aren't even sweet for you? Onions have sugar. Do you experience onions as having sugar? Sweet potatoes, white potatoes, all of those things have naturally occurring sugars. If we have so many artificial sugars in our diet, in the things that we eat, we can't really taste the natural sugars of the food that's actually going to give us the nutrients that we need. So for the month of May, we're going to do a 21-day real Foods Challenge. Yeah, are you ready? Are you ready? We're going to start May 1st. 21 days, real foods. So I am going to suggest to you that you throw out the pasta, that you get rid of the potato chips, that you get rid of the cookies, that you get rid of the Wonder Bread, all of that. Out the door, out the window, to the food pantry, whatever, to your neighbors. We're going to do 21 days. We're going to go in for 21 days. So if you decide to join us, I would love for you to post it somewhere on your social media. Post it that you're going to join the 21-day Real Foods Challenge. If you're a part of the virtual studio, for the month of April, you got a 21-day meal plan. So you have plenty of recipes available to you right now. For the training for the month of May, we're going to be working on our metabolism. So if you have a special event coming up, like a graduation or a wedding or anything, any type of thing that you want to get this big push to, we're going to be working on training to get you right. It's going to be fire. May is going to be fire. So we're doing the 21-day Real Foods Challenge with our eating, and our training is going to be metabolism pumping, building, get you going for the training. So if you decide to join the virtual studio, if you're not already a member of the virtual studio, join this week. Join this week. Join the last week of April. You'll be able to print out the 21-day Real Foods meal plan. You'll be able to print that out, and then you'll flip with us into May and be able to get the metabolism building workouts. It's going to be so good, you guys. I'm pretty excited about it. So if you have a special event coming up in May, now is the time to join the virtual studio. If you're already a part of the virtual studio, you need to tell somebody. You need to be like, look, girl, this is the month to join. You need to join right now. You need to join this week, join the virtual studio, print out the 21-day meal plan, and then work out with us in May, because you will see results. I ain't even gonna lie. You will see results. Like, you cut that processed food out and start working out, you're gonna see results. You absolutely are. I'm basically guarantee that. But you have to actually eat the real foods. All right, so join us now, virtual studio. If you join now, if you join this week, and I will put the link to join in the comments when I finish this up. You join this week, you'll be able to get April's meal plan, and then you'll roll into May with us, and you can join us working out. The virtual studio has a full variety of classes. And then we also monthly, you get recorded classes. So we have boxing boot camp, strength training, bar, stretch, ant build. There's a wide variety of classes available that happen live. And then you also get recordings. So you can, you'll get all the goodness. Catching us live is the best because there's that accountability of joining us live, but you also have recordings. So this is the week to join. Like I said, when I finish this up, I will put the link to join the virtual studio in the comments. If you're not already a member of the Facebook group, I'm going to put that here now. The free Facebook group, Sisterhood of Strong Crew. This is where we'll be talking about everything for the challenge throughout the month. So go over there and join us. And I'm excited about May. It's Metabolism May. Crushing that metabolism. If you are at a plateau, if you're already doing something and you've hit a plateau, you need to join us. You need to get with us. All right, you guys, thanks for joining me. Again, this is Teresa Horn. I'm the founder of Sisterhood of Strong, and we are rolling into Metabolism May. We've got our 21-day Real Foods Challenge and May Metabolism workouts. I'm excited about it. I'll see you guys later. All right, bye-bye.